week, we're looking at unemployment in Nigeria. We spoke to a recruiter and we looked at issues of the demand and supply. We looked at the education system. We even looked at the phenomenon of jackpot. All of this conversation has to do with tomorrow, which is Workers' Day. Really, is there anything to be happy about this upcoming Workers' Day? Now we move our focus away from the 9-to-5, the typical white-collar job, to the blue-collar jobs, to the entrepreneur, to the startup world, to the people who say, I don't want to work under somebody. I want to be my own boss. I want to create employment for others and contribute to the development of this country. We're looking at the MSMEs and how much it takes and to run one, and also the challenges they face. Let's face it, a lot of us have had a side hustle or two, which in turn has made us believe that, oh, I can leave my 9-to-5 and actually focus on this. But when it comes to scaling, when it comes to getting funding, when it comes to policy vacillation, we're stuck and we're asking ourselves, is this really the way we want to go? And some people end up going back to the 9-to-5. I have with me in the studio a beekeeper and entrepreneur in the person of Fauzia Ebunluwa Isiak. Welcome to Rubbin Minds.
Hi, thank you.
Wow, I've only seen beekeepers, I think, on the internet. I really love this outfit, and you were more or less wearing your profession.
Yeah.
Now, let's look at this MSME. I mean, being a beekeeper and entrepreneur, was this as a result of not having a job, or was it driven by passion, or maybe part of the family business? I'm quite intrigued. How did you get into entrepreneurship?
Mine is driven by passion. I've always liked nature, the bees especially. I like being in the forest, being around them, just being around them. I create shelter for them. I just enjoy the ability to create shelter for bees. You know, not many people knew that bees need homes to live in. So I do this for passion, actually.
And is this your full-time work? And at any point, did you think, I'm going to study something to become something else? Or right from childhood, you said, I want to be an entrepreneur, I want to be a beekeeper?
No, this is not my full-time. I am a copywriter. And this one is just something that even if money doesn't come out of it, I'll always do this. I will always be a beekeeper. I'll always be around the bees. I'll always do this. So this is like purely passion. This is something I do and I enjoy doing it, even though there's a lot of hard work I have to put into it. I get stung by bees many times, but I'll always still go back there to do it. So this is like pure passion.
I love it when I see entrepreneurs who are driven by passion. I'm an entrepreneur myself. And the question always comes up is this passion profitable? Do you feel supported as a beekeeper? Do you feel that you have resources you can draw upon to scale your business and maybe actually focus on this full time?
Well, it is profitable, actually. Well, because not many people have access to getting, you know, the original raw honey. So I'll say it's profitable. And I am still doing it on my own for now, like my personal finance and everything. So for now.
So you're using your own money. When you decided to become an entrepreneur, did you research, did you find out about getting funding to actually invest in the business so you don't have to use maybe your own funds?
Yes, I did. So beekeeping is something that takes a lot of time. So it's one of the reasons why I didn't jump at taking investors, because bees when I started beekeeping, I had to keep the bees for 1 year straight before I could harvest like a pint of honey. So it's not something that can be predicted that in 3 months' time, this is what I will get. It is unpredictable. And because bees also eat honey, it's actually their food. Bees make honey to eat. So you also have to leave some for them when you are harvesting it. So it's not something that you can say, this is what I'll harvest. It also depends on how strong they are. Some bees can make as much as 5 liters. Some can make as much as 20 liters. Some can make the only 1 liter that they will eat. Do you get? So that's why I didn't like say, let me take a lot of investors, because it's not something I can predict on my own.
And I'm sure our viewers would like to see the face behind this very passionate beekeeper and entrepreneur. So if you will, please could you remove the covering? Yeah. Thankfully, there are no bees in the studio. And just as I was listening to her response about profitability and not wanting to take investors' money, it reminded me of the plight of a lot of entrepreneurs when they cannot predict the trajectory of their businesses. So when they approach the traditional lending institutions, they are met with a big no, because they want to see a business plan that is turning over money, and they want to know that if they invest in your business, they are going to get their money back. And for a lot of entrepreneurs, funding has remained a big issue. Not everybody has a job, like in the case of Fauzia, copywriting, to actually support their side hustle, their passion, their business on the side. And for those people who don't have that pot of honey or pot of money set aside to be able to nurture their business, what happens to them? What happens when they invest, say, their savings for 1 year, hoping for the best, and nothing comes out? Is that just a waste? What happens to the people who were employed in that business? Do they just go back into the unemployment market? A lot of questions continue to arise when it comes to MSMEs. What support is there for what support is out there for the government? I mean, what is the government doing? And I think we want to take our conversation. Oh, nice to see you without the
without the hat.
The hat, yeah. Yes. Okay. Yes, so let's go back to the conversation on unemployment. Some of the people that you've worked with in this, do they come to you because they're unemployed, or is also a passion thing?
They usually come because they're unemployed, you know, how the country is.
So those people who are unemployed, did they study beekeeping, for example, or is it a case of whatever I can find to do, let me do?
Some people studied beekeeping, but, you know, they didn't have funding to continue. And some just want to work. They just want to have something to do for themselves.
So I will still go back to setting up your business. Say the 1 year that you said it takes a while before they start producing the honey. If you didn't have the funds, for example, would you have turned to maybe the traditional lending institutions? Are there grants available for this kind of work? In terms of even setting up the business, how easy was it when it came to things like taxes and levies and joining certain associations? I'd like to know about some of those things you went through as an entrepreneur.
Well, for me, I had to save up for my own money to start up. I had to save up, and that's what I'm still doing. Like, most of it is like my own money to start up. So that's basically what I did. You know that getting a loan, you have to have a time that you have to pay back. So if anybody is going to go to take a loan for this kind of business, they have to have started. They have to have been making money at a point, to an extent, before they can say they are taking a loan. You cannot take a loan for this kind of business at the start, because within 1 year, you are not yet getting your profit back. So you have to take, before you can take a loan, you have to have started to an extent before you can say you can take a loan.
What about things like taxes? What about things like registering with CAC? How easy was that? And what have you found in your experience as support? Maybe not in terms of capital, but do you get advisory support? How easy is it to run your own business?
Well, I'll still say my passion drives me and helps me pull through. And I have people who love what I do, who love me for who I am, and who always push me on and say the words of encouragement that I should keep going. I also have a business partner that helps me, keeps pushing me on and say, keep on doing this. And you know. So, and getting a CAC was not actually hard. It was actually easy to get a CAC. I got the trademark, and I'm working on other licenses currently.
Okay. I know a lot of people are scared by taxes. For example, if you're not making money, you still have to declare. There are some statutory taxes that people have to pay irregardless. What has your experience been?
Well, I think since I am not like a large business for now, so paying taxes is not like an issue for me for now.
Okay, so what about scaling? Have you thought of, you know what, I want this business to increase, to become bigger, and to employ more people? If you were going to scale, where would you get that funding from?
Well, basically what you need to scale is more land. Like for me as a beekeeper, what I need is more land and money to build more hives, and or more land and hives. And then the most important thing is security. That's like my own challenge as a beekeeper. So you can like get to your beehive one day and someone has taken all the honey away, and they actually set the whole place on fire, take all the honey away. So my challenge is, you know, getting funding for security is like the most important part of what I do. Security is like very important. So getting land, building hives, and then security is like at the top.
So what you do results in a final product that is consumed. And we all know that when you're selling such goods, you need NAFDAC. Like, what has that experience been? Because a lot of people start off businesses and they're selling one thing or the other. Maybe it's plantain chips, or they're selling some food item, and they're waiting for NAFDAC. They're selling palm oil, but they're waiting for NAFDAC. And I've heard it can take 2 years, 3 years. What was your experience like?
Well, mine is still like in the works, but I feel like they're supportive to an extent because people from NAFDAC actually buy my honey. They buy my honey. So
how long has it been in the works for?
Not so long. It's not up to a year yet. So I'm just like at the last stage currently, just like at the last stage currently. So,
but was it very straightforward? Did you have to know somebody? Was it something you could do online?
I think because I'm this kind of person that I'm never shy to talk about what I feel and what I do and stuff. So I just kind of went straight to their office actually and I just met the first person at the door. I want to register for this, and somebody said, oh, you're that girl on Instagram. I bought your honey before. Do you understand? Okay, go and register online. This is how you do it. And I kept going back. I've gone to the office like 3 times, and that's how I did the process.
So very soon they've assured you that you'll get your NAFDAC.
Yes.
Now, you spoke about partnership. How important has that been as an entrepreneur? Because we know that there are so many sole entrepreneurs. We have people who are selling things on Instagram, people, even the security guard that has a small kiosk that is selling something. So what has been the benefit or challenges having a partner as an entrepreneur?
Well, I think if there will be any challenge and benefit, it will depend on who you have as a partner. So I think if anybody is going to have a business partner, they have to have someone that knows other things you don't know, you know. So for me, for example, I am a beekeeper, I'm an apiculturist. I know about bees. I can tell you about the anatomy of bees and the rest. But I might not know much about how to handle a business, or how to approach people for funding or grants. But then I have a partner that knows how to do, you know, those things. So my partner helps me greatly in that part of my business. So I think there are no challenges for me for having a partner.
Yeah, I'd now like to go back to unemployment. We see that a lot of people have gone into entrepreneurship as a result of unemployment. But do you believe that that's the way forward, that people should just become entrepreneurs because there are no jobs? Or should people become entrepreneurs because they are passionate and they're qualified to become entrepreneurs?
I think people should become entrepreneurs because they are passionate and qualified to be it. Because you face challenges everywhere, even as someone that works a 9 to 5 and someone that has their own business. There are challenges everywhere. So I think people should be passionate about whatever field they want to work in.
And now what should the government do? Because not everybody's in your position that has their personal savings or has a partner to sort of handhold and guide them through the process and to fill up where they are lacking. So what happens to those people?
Well, I think I think we are still like too much into the old ways. Like we are too much into the old ways. So, for example, when I wanted to learn apiculture, it's not available as a full course in Nigeria. Do you get? I had to take a lot of courses online. I had to learn. So it took me so long before I could find someone that could like take me through the full practical process. And do you know the funny part about it is that when you are good in apiculture, then foreign countries will come and grab you and take you away.
Jackpot.
Like, we need you. I have had like 1 or 2 universities have reached out to me. We want you to work in our APRA for us. Like, can you come? Can you come? So it is not, some of the things we need are not available as a course of study. So I think even the school curriculum needs to be changed from the top to bottom. Like, everything needs
all the way to university.
Yes, everything needs to like be changed. We need to review new certain settings. Okay, what are people doing now? What are people interested in now? Even up to like people do influencing now online and they make money from it, right? Why can't we teach people how to do these things in a good way? Do you get what I'm saying? So I think they have to change a lot has to change. People are studying courses that there are no jobs for.
So the government has to tackle this problem of unemployment by ensuring that we have educational courses that are relevant for today's job market. Thank you very much, Fauzia, for your contributions on Rubbin.